Hello there to everyone in the land of cyberspace, and welcome to kind of our inaugural
Our 2 cents worth.
Our episode of Our 2 Cents Worth, and we're going to begin with something that we are very passionate about. Debbie, why don't you tell them what we're passionate about?
Ballroom dancing, of course. Nick and I have been partners for about 5 years on the ballroom dance floor and swing dance also. So we love to watch Dancing with the Stars, and while we're watching it, we're texting each other our opinions, and we thought, wow, why don't we just share our opinions with each other?
Now, we have actually, to just throw this in there, we have actually taken lessons from, I believe it's 2-time Dancing with the Stars champion, Mark Ballas, which you can see right there. That's the cute one on the left-hand side, of course. And we've actually taken lessons from his mother, who's been a world Latin champion, and to take lessons from her was really something special. But we've learned a lot. We have a lot to learn.
We're amateurs.
Yeah, we're amateurs. But we have fun. We do perform. But we're going to give everybody our 2 cents worth on Dancing with the Stars, and we're going to begin with the 2 people that were eliminated, and that was Melissa Gilbert and Rashawn. And Debbie, which one do you want to start with?
You know, I like Little Half Pint.
A Little House on the Prairie's Half Pint?
However, I have to say she's a hard worker. She's really diligent. I think she did her personal best, but I was kind of shocked that she hung in there that long.
I didn't think she deserved to be here anywhere near this long.
Yeah, and I do think that they kind of pick and choose the conversations between her and Max to make it look like it's adversarial.
Right.
And that just kind of fuels the fire.
It never felt honest. I don't know if anybody's watched the show a lot, but when he was with Kirstie Alley, that felt so completely honest to me. And when he danced with Mel B, that was about, I think, as close as best friends can get. But this one did seem like it was kind of put on.
Forced.
And another thing about her dancing ability, now, like I said, I'm no expert, but we do like to perform, we do like to dance. And it's every dance that Melissa Gilbert did when I was watching her, she never seemed comfortable to me, not even one time. There wasn't one dance that stood out. Every dance, and almost every time that she was on the dance floor, she either lost her footwork or lost her place at least once every time out. I don't think there was one kind of flawless routine for her.
Yeah, I don't think she appeared really comfortable, but we also have to keep in mind that she was working with a broken back. She had just broken her back, a year ago or so, and recovered.
Right. Yeah.
But Rashawn, now he, on the other hand, I felt like I didn't know this kid starting off. I wasn't familiar with him.
And I think that was his biggest problem, but go ahead.
I do too, because I thought he was an excellent dancer right from the start, but I also think you saw him progress each week.
Absolutely.
Which he didn't do with everybody. And it was just beyond my comprehension that his scores would be as low as they were, or that he'd be in the bottom 2. And all I could think of was maybe he hadn't cultivated a fan base, because this kid could dance.
He was definitely a force to be reckoned with on the dance floor. I think the problem is his popularity off the dance floor. And when they had him paired last night with William as to who was going to stay and who was going to go, and anybody with an average working brain in their head knew who was going home. And it's a shame, because I think that the intensity that shows in his dancing it reflected his personality, and he's a very likable kid, and he was a very good dancer. I don't think he ever deserved to be in the bottom 2 as much as he was. I thought that was really kind of
And even when he was
the
in the dancing duels, the judges always saved him because he was clearly the better dancer.
No, I agree. And how many times was he in the dance-off?
Twice, I believe.
Yeah, and he survived it a couple times.
But his scores weren't always all that great, and I think he took the judges' advice to heart and really tried to improve. And unfortunately, you have those celebrities each year that the judges either seem to kind of judge more harshly, or they don't have a fan base. Yeah.
Right, and or there's other circumstances besides it's a dance competition. Okay, well, this will take us to our 4 people that are going to be leading into the semifinals, and that's going to be this week. And we'll start with Donald Driver? Is that his name?
Donald Driver.
Don Driver, and he's the football player, world champion for the Green Bay Packers. And let me just say, out of the 4 people, I actually think this guy wants it more than anyone. And if you didn't see that in his jive the other night, I think that people...
Well, I think he's improved. The first few weeks when I watched him, I didn't think he was good at all.
He's got good weeks and bad weeks.
Yeah, I was thinking, how long is he going to hang in there? Except for the fact that athletes do well. They have cultivated a fan base, especially football players. And that keeps them in there. But having said that, in the last couple of weeks, he's really stepped up his game. I think he's improved. But in my personal opinion, I don't feel that he deserves to win.
It'll only take him so far. Now, I will say there's something to branch off on what you just said. When you get an Olympic athlete on there, you get a pro athlete on there, somebody that's a world champion or a multiple world champion, like if they won Emmett Smith's won 3 Super Bowl rings. they have a desire to win, I think, above and beyond other people that are, I'm not going to say that actors are pampered, but I think they're pampered a lot more than professional athletes. And I think they just have a natural desire to win. However, I think that's only going to get Donald that far.
Well, not just a natural desire to win. I think they are used to hard work.
Absolutely.
They have
physical hard work.
Yeah, and they're used to a different work ethic. They're not throwing tantrums like many of the actors and actresses do.
And we'll leave that out. And it makes you wonder what happens when the cameras aren't rolling, how many tantrums we don't see.
Yeah.
But I do think he is one of the most improved. I do think but I don't think when it comes down to it, I don't think he's going to win this competition either. I could be wrong. I could be wrong. This takes us to our next contestant. Let's go with Maria Menounos, and she's the extra correspondent. And personally, when I watched her on the first week, I thought this girl was going home.
Me too.
Right away. And I was like, wow, she might look good, but she's not really that good of a dancer. And then she just blows me away 1 week to the next, and she has actually gradually improved. And I still say if they wouldn't have broken hold in the Foxtrot where they went up the steps a couple weeks back, I would have given that a 30. That would have been like, I would have given it a 30 out of 10. I thought it was fantastic.
Yeah, I thought starting off that she would be much better than she was, and she wasn't. And I thought, oh, yeah, I don't know how long she's going to stay in there. But again, she persevered. She worked hard. She put the time in. I think she listened to the feedback and the criticism from the judges, and I think it's paying off. And I have to say, the Bollywood samba, although very enjoyable, very creative.
No samba.
Yeah, lacked in samba content. And for once in my life, I was actually agreeing with Len.
Yeah, well, I agree. I tend to agree with Len quite a bit, even with his pompous attitude, I might add. I actually welcome it. It reminds me of Simon Cowell. But anyway, the thing I had a problem with on that samba is it seemed like the only people doing the samba were the two gentlemen behind her, and she wasn't really doing any of the samba. That seems to be kind of a problem with some. Roshan had that problem. Both times that kid did the samba, there was a lack of samba content.
Samba is, I think, one of the hardest dances.
And maybe that reflects onto the professional. Maybe they don't know the samba well. I mean, I know they're professionals.
Derek?
No, I'm talking about Roshan's partner.
Oh, okay. Chelsea?
Yeah,
oh, no, I think
both times there was no samba.
No, I don't think so at all. I think that part is, I think they are actually choreographing to the star's strengths and weaknesses.
Right.
Oh my gosh, they are not capturing the hip movement
It's a
in
difficult
samba,
dance
so let's
any way you look
mask
at it.
That. Yeah, it is hard, but I think Maria is capable of it. I think she's done it well. And Katherine.
And I think her laugh is absolutely awesome, and I think she's the illegitimate child of Fran Drescher with that laugh.
That laugh drives me nuts.
You got to give it up to Derek for just tolerating that laugh for the last 8 weeks or however long he has tolerated. But I think she's definitely a finals contender. Do you think she's finals material?
I think she is now. I wouldn't have said that starting off.
I wouldn't have said that either, but I would say that now too.
Yeah.
I would say that now. It makes me. I think she's going to be a good contender in the finals. But then you're also talking about Derek, who I think has 3 ballroom trophies, if I'm not mistaken. I could be wrong there. But this takes us to our next one, which is William Levy. And what do you can start with William.
William is good. He is good, but I think he was good when he started.
Right.
I haven't seen a lot of growth.
No, I haven't either. He seems.
And I must be like the only female in America who doesn't get the total hotness factor.
No,
I mean, he's good looking, but he's not like Gaga drop over. I can't critique him.
Okay, now I want you to share with whoever ends up watching this, maybe the one person. Thank you, by the way, for watching this. Share with them, like, because she'll text with other people, and we text with other people that we dance with during the show. And she was telling me that she was texting with a lady and said she was looking at William's hand placement, and it was like this. We commonly refer to that as Spider-Man hands. They should be like this. They should be cupped together like that. That's how.
And it doesn't matter if they're up or down.
Right.
He's always got this hand thing. For weeks, he had a hand thing.
And she brings it up to this other lady, and what's the lady text back to you?
She says, what hand? I wasn't noticing his hand,
She's looking at his bum.
Yeah, or his abs, or oh, he's so good looking. Well, okay, but you have to put that aside. There are a lot of good looking people in the world, but that has nothing to do with their dance ability. And for some reason, with this man, it's like
that overpowers
so
everything.
Up.
Yeah,
nobody can really.
And personally, I, not being gay or anything, the thing for me is I think he's no Gilles Marini.
I thought the same thing.
I think Gilles Marini embodied every bit of masculinity that this gentleman has, but he was a fantastic dancer on top of that, and I don't get that fantastic dancer from William Levy.
I don't either. He seems like a nice guy.
He does. He seems like a really nice person. I'll tell you, there was a little, when Rashawn got voted off, you know, he hugged Rashawn, and you could tell that they really had a connection. Rashawn really looked. He did. You know, he helped Rashawn, and you can tell that he liked this kid, and he looks like the nicest guy. And I have nothing against him personally. I can see through. You know how hot he is because I'm not really attracted to him.
He's got a great partner, I'll tell you. Cheryl can whip anybody into shape, and I'm not saying he's bad. He isn't, but I really haven't seen the progress from him.
However, his foxtrot was I would have given that a 10 every day of the week. I thought that was his best dance of the year. It was the first time that he showed me a smile on his face, relaxation during the dance. I mean, just really a perfect 10. I'm glad he got a 30. I thought he deserved it. But then he came out during the two-man, one-woman team, and I wasn't just as impressed with that one. But I still think
a little inconsistent at times.
Yeah, I agree with you totally. I think he'll probably make the finale interesting because he'll probably get to it. But I don't know. I've always thought that the judges have been really easy on him.
I thought so too.
No, I could be wrong. Like I said, that's just my humble opinion when it comes to this. Okay, and this will take us to our last contestant in the beautiful Katherine Jenkins.
Oh, look, now we're switching. Oh, yeah, you can't tell William he's hot. You can't, describe him as that. It has nothing to do with dance. And you describe her.
I will say this, she is a beauty.
With that grin on your face.
She is a beauty.
She is gorgeous.
Yeah, she is a beauty.
And fortunately for you, my friend, she's a gorgeous dancer.
She's a really good dancer. She has really, I think, excelled most of the year. And I actually think that the judges have been harder on her than they have.
At times, but they really have been very supportive of her at other times.
Right.
Now this week, not so much. I think they gave her lower scores. But.
Yeah, but they were I thought they were actually easy on her during the was it two men and one woman? I think they did like a Passover. I can't remember specifically.
Well, her scores were lower this week than usual. But she is very graceful. What I love about her is the fluidity of her upper body, her arm extension, her hands. She's just very graceful.
She's a beautiful singer. She's a beautiful dancer. She's just a beautiful artist, and I think she works well with Ballas. I think he brings the best out of her as a dancer.
And she does have some dance background, and I think that is reflected in the
old Melissa Rycroft.
Well, in her movements. But you know what? A lot of the athletes, like the skaters, figure skaters,
absolutely.
They have dance and choreography background.
And I would think that like people like Jerry Rice or somebody that's a graceful,
Jerry Rice.
Wide receiver you would think would excel.
Yeah.
But then I was going to say, but then you take somebody like Jason Taylor who's a defensive back or something who's as smooth as silk and was just unbelievably graceful.
I think more of the figure skaters. Those are the ones that I think have more of an unfair advantage because basically they dance on ice and they have a lot of dance and choreography. And
they have strong legs.
So I think that's really an advantage going in. But in any effect, she seems to work very well with Mark. She seems to be a very nice person. She's great in smooth or Latin. So I think she's a strong contender, and I'm really thinking she's going to win this.
I really do. I think she's very graceful. I love the poses that they create. The lines that they hit are really amazing. I think that she really I think has it all around. I think she's. If you had to pick somebody as the contender, who do you think's the strongest contender going into
her?
You think Katherine?
I do. I think it'll really come down to her and William. But I remember in the first few weeks of this, you kept texting me about how beautiful she was, how hot she was. And I'd say, but what about her dance?
Oh, she is.
She is. But you too fall prey to that. We're knocking women for looking at William.
Yeah, but I'll tell you what, this last week, when I was watching, I said it wasn't her best week. I would have gladly voted for William before I would have voted for her. So now I will say, I don't vote. I have abstained from the voting process of Dancing with the Stars, so I'll gladly give my opinion, but there's just so much that goes with that, and I refuse to get caught up in it. I'll gladly share my opinion, but
I do vote. Yeah. I do share my opinion in that way, and when it's said and done, it's a fun dance show,
right?
And that's it. People, it's not going to make or break your life if you do or don't win the Mirror Ball Trophy. But it is entertaining, and it's a lot of hard work, and I think it's exposed America to the fact that ballroom dancers really are athletes.
Yeah.
It's very demanding.
Absolutely.
Almost every one of them has said, "Oh my gosh, I didn't realize
how much work this is.
How much effort this takes."
Yeah, and I'll tell you right now, the more graceful and the more elegant it looks, the more strain and difficult the person is putting on their body to make it look that easy. And
the more effortless it looks, the more effort that's gone into
it. And the way that they usually compensate and express the discomfort to the audience is like this. So if they're doing that, it makes everybody enjoy what they're doing and enjoy the show that much more. Well, I think we're going to try and be back for next week going into the finals, and we'll see who gets booted from the dance floor and is out of the mirror ball competition.
Who gets the stiletto and who doesn't.
Yeah, absolutely. And the stiletto where the sun don't shine. And we'll see where we're sitting going into the finals, and we'll see who the top 3 are, and we'll touch base with that, and we'll see.
Hope to see you out on the dance floor.
All right. Until then, have a good day.